Are you worried your parents' driving is becoming dangerous? Communicating that concern, coupled with capturing their keys, can cause a family feud. Max Gerwell is here to alert us to the warning signs and also to share tips for ending driving with dignity. Matt is a retired state trooper and CEO of Keeping Us Safe. So we're going to talk about that. Now, I think we know kind of the physical signs to look for, you know, eyesight, physical ability, hearing, reaction times. But you say there's another really important sign to look for. What is that?
There is. Oftentimes we underestimate the importance that memory plays in driving and in safe driving. There was, in 2011, January of 2011, the headline of the Washington Post read, "Elderly couple found frozen to death after getting lost on drive." And what happened was they did just that. They were driving on a familiar route, so it was a trip that, to a relative's house that they had made countless times before, and got lost this particular time, and like the title suggested, ended up being their demise. So memory is so often overlooked. We concentrate on vision and hearing and strength and flexibility and reaction time, which are obviously all extremely important to driving, but we can't overlook the memory issue as well.
So, because they're worried about getting unlost, right?
They're getting worried about getting unlost.
They're not paying attention to the driving.
They don't pay attention. Not only that, they completely fall apart. I've ridden with so many older drivers that, as part of our self-assessment program, that have gotten themselves lost on a route that they're familiar with. When we go out and do the driving exercise of this self-assessment program, we take them to locations that they're familiar with. In fact, the 3 locations that they're most familiar with, so that they're comfortable with that, and you know, kind of put them in their best possible environment. But they become lost, and when they do, they completely fall apart, Lori. An older driver, or probably any of us that's lost, will tend to look backwards to see what street sign they might have just missed. And when they do that, you know, we've all reached into the back seat for something, and you find yourself drifting left to center, and they do, and they come completely unaware of those hazards that they're actually becoming.
Yeah, I see why that's really important. So all these reasons we have for having this conversation, getting our parents to stop driving, but how do you start that conversation with your parents?
It's a touchy subject, isn't it? The unique thing about this whole issue is every family handles it in a completely different manner than the next. So there's no cookie cutter model, so to speak. My best advice is to start those conversations today, regardless of where your parent is in that safe driving continuum. They might be the best driver on the road, but start those conversations today, so that if and when the day ever does come that it's time to escalate them, then you're comfortable with that, and those doors have been open to such a conversation.
Now, you talked about an assessment that you do. What's that about?
It's a self-assessment. We sit down with the older driver, typically on behalf of concerned family members or a physician, and go through a 3-hour tabletop, we call it, we conducted it in the home of the older driver, right at their very kitchen table. So it would be you and I. We would go through a whole litany of tabletop, pen and paper, cognitive type exercises, and then we would actually go out and perform a driving exercise as well.
That's what you were talking about, yeah.
Assuming it's safe to do so. Yeah, that's what I was referring to earlier. And then we help the older driver make decisions, his or herself, about.
So you don't tell them whether they passed or failed?
No, there really is no pass or fail. We like to use the term the individual is or is not at an elevated risk for a future traffic accident. Okay. And then we try to guide them appropriately.
And you've got a booklet for people?
We also have a workbook titled Beyond Driving with Dignity, the workbook for the families of older drivers and their families. It's a working workbook. If we were to flip through the pages, you would see that it's full of exercises and fill in the blanks type things, so it requires some work. But what it's designed to do is remove the family's opinion, emotion, and speculation from the process.
Just the facts.
Just the facts, and reduces everything to facts, just like you said, and then helps them make appropriate decisions from that point forward.
Sounds like a great program.
Thank you.
Putting your driving life permanently in park is a difficult decision, but you can help your parents on this rough road. For their safety and for others, order the workbook from Keeping Us Safe, or give them a call to arrange a personal visit. My thanks to Matt for joining us today.
Thank you, Lori.
Find out more about Keeping Us Safe by calling 877-907-8841 or log on to www.keepingussafe.org. Next, do you have sweet